Hey guys. Okay, so welcome if you're watching by Facebook. This will premiere later on YouTube. And at this time, I'm only going to just kind of share this with my other groups and pages right now. If you are watching via YouTube, there will be a description in the description area where you can join. Well, let me just start from the beginning, okay? I'm Francesca Amato with Punished for Protecting Incorporated nonprofit organization. I also have Punish No More and Free to Protect. I also have a group called I Survived a Narcissist, You Can Too on Facebook, which I will share in the link when we're done today. I also have, if you're looking by YouTube, you'll be able to look in the description where you can join that page. I will have Book a Talk listed in descriptions where you can book me for a full consultation with one of the issues that we're going to discuss. Today is a very important topic that I'm going to be speaking about with regards to mothers and children and not letting the ship go down. So as you gather in, I just want to remind everybody that if you're on YouTube watching this, where it will premiere later, you can like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon because it helps to bring in more and more new people from around the globe and where they can get the help that they need. I am a national advocate with specialty in ADA, American Disability Act, and we are gaining ground, but I want to talk a little bit today about the abuses and so on, the victimization and so on, and what happens in the process of gaining ground and getting to the end result of full and total victory. Sometimes victory comes, sometimes there's more enemy attack, but victory will continue to come. I am determined and believe that I am anointed by God above to continue to go forward, even though I didn't want to. He showed me that I have to, which we're going to talk about today. So as you guys are joining on, just bear with me, because as soon as I get on here, my dogs act like children. So just give me a minute. Okay, I'm going to take one with me here so that they don't start to wrestle. Stop, guys. Stop, Wesley. Because this is a very important topic today, and I was actually going to just kind of share it with my other groups. And don't forget, again, you can join the page I Survived a Narcissist, You Can Too. It's on Facebook. It's a free page. Under the Book a Talk section, which will be left in the description when we're done today, you can apply for, or you can get scheduled a consultation with me, a book talk, covering any topic you want that I handle. You can also put in the words The Vault, which is a private group. Okay, it's a private group. You can also purchase the book, Punished for Protecting the Injustice System of Family Court, which I will also put in the link either in the YouTube or Facebook link description where you can purchase that book, the Book of Victory, the true story. So I'm not going to get too much into that today. The reason I'm doing this live interview today, or this live broadcast today rather, is because I'm going to have you guys hang on for a second. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Sorry about that. I do apologize for that. Okay, so this today is my topic on mothers and children. We're not going to let mothers and children go down with the ship. So share this like wildfire because this is important. As you guys know, I have been a part of advocating for children and families for now 13 years. 13 years, my friends. And I have been a victim. I have been victorious. I have fought with many in the trenches. We've had great success. We've literally changed the movement and the momentum of the family rights movement. I've detached from the movement itself. I stay with certain advocates, but I'm careful who I'm associated with. I have opened my tent, so to speak, and let everybody in, and then I realized that wasn't the smart thing to do. I've learned a lot. I do, in fact, and you guys know this, I'm unbiased, and I do not like the gender war for many reasons. However, I just want to make this public today and make this well known. I will now be the mother's right champion. This is a decision that I've taken on prayerfully. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to help fathers like I always have, but I'm going to be extraordinarily careful. I do not agree with fathersrights.org, governmentally run. I do not agree with fathers that are indeed abusers with very horrible, proven criminality, addictions, things that are unsafe for children. I've always been about raising our children and the safety and protection of our children. And that's where I will always be. Now, with saying that, I'm also careful with particular mothers too. Don't misunderstand me. But the Father's Rights Organizations has a Father's Rights champion. His name is Philly Slim. He calls himself the Father's Rights champion. You got your guy. Now you got your girl, mothers. Because I'm here to be the Mother's Rights champion. And I am sick and tired of seeing children placed in homes where they're crying hysterically and they want to come home. And they don't want to be there, not even on a visit in many cases, okay? Or where they're being abused. And I have seen this too many times. And you see my eyes, my ears, and my physical body sits in these family courts across the country. I am not some newbie. I've been doing this for 13 years. I am somebody who's been in the trenches. I'm not just somebody who kind of looked from a distance and made some decisions. No, I have been in line upon line, precept upon precept, articulately detailed, learned about it, put my whole self into it, For 13 years, I've put my entirety into it. I have not worked a full-time job since 2017, my friends. I work for myself for my own nonprofit organization in which I invested everything I have into. Blood, sweat, tears, and finances into. I'm going to share with you some things that I've learned in the past couple years being on social media. Number one, the reason I've been silenced to not be able to talk about trolls when they send somebody in to take me down, I'm still standing. You can't take me down. No, you cannot. This is the one who puts me forward. This is the one. Period. So, keep trying, because it ain't going to happen. And the more you try to rob for me, and the more you try to take me down, and the more you try to go after me, the more I will be empowered to make this happen. You see, the job is not finished, but we've definitely put a good dent in it, haven't we? And the enemy is fierce. The enemy that has to do with this family court, CPS, garbage, and where the police are involved, law enforcement. See, I respect authority. And I articulate the truth, and I'm the person that brings in the actual communication between point A and point C so that B makes sense in between. I'm that person, okay? I'm that person. I have developed acute stress and post-traumatic stress disorder thanks to the family court pounding me in court, Ulster County, for 13 straight years, where I have literally been in court once or twice per month for 13 years. And I'm not talking about my families. I'm talking about my family. And I'm not taking this garbage no more. I didn't take it before. I don't bow down to man. I bow down to the one true God. And that's it. And when I stand, honey, I keep standing. And when I go after the giant, I hit him in the head and take his head off. That's what I will be doing. And so now, with compassion and love and empathy and knowledge and hands-on, I have discovered that the majority of the fathers that I've helped that are part of the Father's Right movement are truly abusers. And therefore, I'm going to be extremely careful. I have fought for many fathers, and you can see on my YouTube channel where they've won cases, and they're very good men, and I'm very good friends with them today. So hear me carefully, because I'm not a gender war person in any way, shape, or form. And I believe in the order that God gave: husband, wife, father, mother, children. But not every father's good, and not every mother's good either. And not either every mother or father are safe for their children. And that's the reason why I do in-depth study and research into ACE, adverse childhood experiences. And that's why I don't just coddle garbage, and I don't play with garbage. Okay? So with saying that, moms, hello mothers, I embrace you like I've never embraced you before, because so many of you have endured such pain and suffering while your children are crying, being abused, whether physically, sexually, emotionally. And so here I am. I am back, and I am bigger than I've been before. And I'm also incorporating narcissism. I'm also incorporating law of attraction, above all, faith in God, faith in Jesus Christ, because that's where I bring everything from. That's where everything comes from. I'm just your girl next door. I'm just a natural person. I'm just a human being. Everything I do is public. I don't hide anything. But I'm going to tell you right now, I have fought to protect children, my own and yours. And that's what I will continue to do, because they're the most important thing in this world. They're the most important. There's nothing more important. I have been lied about. They've made pages about me, and I laugh. God sits on his throne, and he laughs at the wicked because he knows their end fate. And sometimes it may seem like they get away with things, but I can assure you they get away with They can lie all they want. Some woman posted that this toxic mother, calling myself, okay, she doesn't know me. She's never spoke to me. She actually posted this. I don't know her. I've never spoke to her, but she's toxic. Little brain dead there. So this is the kind of garbage I've had to deal with. And the trolls on Facebook, you see, they sent somebody in to try to take me down and silence me from speaking about trolls on Facebook. Little by little, things get exposed into the glorious light. Everything gets exposed eventually. And it always will. Always will. They wanted to silence me about the trolls because the trolls have infiltrated the movement and want to take out the most important voices in the movement. Last I checked, my voice is loud and clear, and it's going to get clearer. Okay, so mothers and children, I'm here to embrace you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to fight with you. And I'm here to help you protect your kids from this demonic, diabolical, evil family court CPS system. You know, I discovered something. I've talked to so many parents lately whose children, and it's interesting, I find it just mind-blowing, mainly boys from the ages of 12, 11, 13, 16, wanting to run from their father's houses, while mother is restrained from either being with them at all whatsoever, okay, with no bad background whatsoever, or mother is restrained and has visits, while her boy or boys or children, girls too, but mostly boys, and you can guys look at this yourself. I'm not going to even show it. I'm going to have you look at it yourself. I was floored. So I said, please tell your children not to run away, but they're running away. They're running away from this home, these homes. They don't want to be there because of the abuse. And let me tell you something, narcissists and manipulators and abusers, they're very, very good. They show certain faces to the world that most people don't understand, okay? And these judges are quick to oblige them because these judges are abusers. I will never, ever retract my statement that I believe that every single last one of family court judges are full-blown narcissists. I will never retract that statement as long as I live because I've seen it all over the country, and I've seen it over and over and over again. Physically, with my eyes and ears, I have witnessed this. No one can tell me different. Okay, now I went on and I just wanted to see, because I want to make sure these children are careful. I don't want to see them running away because God forbid they get into the streets, and you know, anything can happen, and we have a very sick system. It's not like they protect them, and everybody passes the bill to somebody else. The Department of Justice passes it to somebody else. They pass it to the Committee on Judicial Conduct, which is a joke and a half. They pass it to the family court judges, which is the enemy to begin with. They pass it from them to CPS, which is another bunch of corrupt, evil, maniac, lunatics, uneducated, ready to hurt your children. Actually, I believe that these people get off on hurting children. I really believe that with everything in me. So therefore, I've been everywhere. As you guys know, spoke before Congress, spoke before the New York State Assembly. I can't get any more articulate. I use their own statistics. I prove that they are traffickers. I prove it. I prove it. They sit there with egg on their face with their mouths that hit the floor. Okay? I prove it to them. And what do they do about it? Can anybody help me out here? What do they do about it? Nothing. They continue to restrain protective parents and harm them with abusers. Very simple. Manipulators, liars, they can post as many Jesus posts on their page in scripture and how they're such good dads and in some cases such good mothers, okay? But you don't fool me because I already know you. I've already seen you in action. I know the lies you tell your children. I know the lies you tell the court, and the court can't wait because, see, liars oblige other liars. But the devil is a liar and God is the truth. And therefore, this is a spiritual war of demons and angels and God and the devil. Okay, if you don't believe that, go live your life blindfolded then. But that's the truth. And last I checked, I'm not foaming from the mouth. I'm not mentally ill. And I'm speaking the honest truth here. So, with saying that, where does anybody turn to? Because they all point at somebody else to help you. As the years pass and pass and pass, and the only thing and the only one that's going to help us is the Lord Jesus Christ, is our faith. And don't get me wrong, I work with all different kinds of religions, and there's so many wonderful people out there, and we all fail the same way. But remember that God's power is greater than man's. Any day of the week, no matter what lie they tell, if he comes in and he steals, he's going to have to return a thousandfold return. We continue to pray for the protection of these children. But this is what this led me to. It led me to look up this website where it's children who run away. What is it called? Excuse me, if somebody can put it in comments for me. But it's about children who run away, okay? And some kids are asking questions in the blog. I was floored. Every single one of these fathers had full custody and mothers had no access. Little or no access to their children and they wanted to run away back to mom. And I said, wow, Lord, you obviously push me into things so that I can learn more, so that somehow, in some way, I can be a help. So those of you that pray, continue to pray for my strength. Continue to pray that I have God's wisdom as I navigate through this demonic sea of demons. Okay? Keep praying for my family and our protection. Okay? Because soon I'm going to be speaking so much more, so even bolder, with more that's coming forward. Now, I won Amato versus McGinty. I won the constitutionality portion of that claim. I did not continue to go forward because so much money was taken out of all of this. But now we will be doing a huge New York State lawsuit with all the ADA violations and so on and so forth. That has been being worked on for a number of years right now. I have a lot of people behind the scenes that are doing a lot. Okay? And I don't stop, if you haven't noticed. But for the rest of everybody else, this covers the country. Okay? I care about the country. I care about the children. And whether Trump knows or not, we're being failed every day. This is sick. Because you see, let me read something to you. I don't know if I'll be able to get it on here. I'm going to try to get it on here. But this is important because the complaints that I get every day by the same judges over and over, same pattern of abuse, mothers and children, same pattern of abuse. It is psychopathic, sociopathic, the child attorney, all of it. It's the same story, different people, same judges, different people, same psychotic decisions. They have, the bottom line comes down to is that they have what's called discretion. And I'm talking under their own false laws. Their policies and procedures do not trump federal constitution. Does not trump, does not in any way, shape, or form trump our parental rights. Does not. And so therefore that needs to be clearly understood. I'm trying to find, here we go. I'm just going to read a couple of pieces. This is a winning case for homeschooling. Also the fact that they cannot vaccinate your children. Okay. They cannot force you to vaccinate your children. They cannot force you to, in other words, it's a school of your choosing. And this case won. I'm having a hard time pulling it up. Let me just see if I can, here we go. Here it is. Let me just try to pull this up because I just want to read a little portion. Here it is. I found it. I want to read this to you guys. As I think that this is really, really important. What's happening here? Okay. So basically what it was a case that won with regards to a mother in Georgia. Now, this doesn't matter what state because this covers the entire country. And she won. The judge did not like the idea that she was homeschooling her son in this particular case. And who cares what you like? We didn't ask your opinion. Did I ask your opinion? I mean, because the judge doesn't like you or you don't like the judge, that should not have anything to do with how they referee something or where they come off. They don't have any right. Zero. So what happened was she actually worked at a Montessori school. Now, I sent my son to a Montessori school, which is in the thousands of dollars. Okay, so like that certainly could never constitute educational neglect. I mean, so where they come off when they don't find a finding of unfitness and a mother chooses to homeschool and she had primary sole custody, and that's just how it was. So she won. And the federal court, Supreme Court, which I'm going to read this to you, basically clearly said that they lacked the authority to alter the parties' custody agreement. Number one, they lacked the authority. They had zero authority to alter the parties' custody agreement. You can't do it by force. You cannot do it because you just think you can. You just can't do that. Okay? Now, I have to talk about in cases where there's many prongs of error, improper service, which can be proven many times, ADA violations where they violate your ADA and they do not give you proper accommodations. Do you know that you, if you are a victim of this, are automatically disabled? Automatically. I don't give a shit who you are. Okay, whether they diagnose you or not. But in the cases where you're diagnosed and so on and so forth, they are in the wrong. There's no way. And that's why I fight the ADA so hard. Because the Department of Justice needs to wake the hell up. period. They need to wake the hell up. The president needs to wake the hell up. Everybody pretty much needs to wake the hell up. What happens in these particular cases with PTSD and acute anxiety and stress and so on, and constantly having to go back to court and all that, they keep exasperating already existing emotional, I hate to even call it mental illness, because there's nothing mentally ill about the person. Okay, this is like a re-traumatization, re-stressing. It would be like being hit by the same car over and over again and being forced to stand there, because you have to keep going back, because you've got an abuser that keeps taking you to court because they have an abusive attorney, and because they use the court to abuse the victim. That's why this message today is for mothers and children, because that's what's happening to mothers and children all over this country for years. I don't care where it started. I don't care at this point that fathers didn't have custody years ago. I really don't care. I honestly, I'm at the point now where I don't care. I don't care, because I'm fighting for what's happening today. And I'm fighting for the fact that this is damaging children. And the mother-child bond is not only sacred, the mother-child bond is the most strongest of all bonds. I'm not saying that the father-child bond isn't strong. And I believe wholeheartedly in good fathers and good husbands or good men. I believe wholeheartedly. I'm saying this based on the fact that I believe wholeheartedly in them. And based on the fact that I'm not a woman's liver. I'm saying it based on the fact that mothers and children, when they're, and especially all the mothers and children that I deal with, are all good mothers, excellent mothers, top-notch mothers, good background, clean background mothers, non-drug using, not loser crazy mothers, good mothers. This is happening to good mothers, okay? And the trolls on Facebook associate with the abusers through the thing, and I can prove all of that, and will be, because see, I clean the clock of every portion of this demonic networking, not just one portion. I go after all of it. So it says a parent's natural right to familial relations is also recognized under not only the state's constitution, but obviously the Constitution. And so it said here, and this is all by the Supreme Court judge, stating that according to the Supreme Court, there can scarcely be imagined a more fundamental and fiercely guarded right than the right of a natural parent to his offspring, and the fundamental liberty interest of natural parents in the care, custody, and management of their child does not evaporate, listen carefully, simply because they have not been model parents. Now, I'm not talking about drug dealers and abusers and child abusers and women beaters. I'm talking about maybe like you slightly erred here and there in your everyday life. That's what that means. And yet they take children from those type of parents and place them into the hands of people that you wouldn't give a fly to. You wouldn't give a dead frog to raise, okay? Let alone the life of a child. Sick. And so basically, in essence, what he said is that when this fundamental liberty interest is at stake, the court must give full, fair, and thoughtful consideration to the serious matter at hand. Suffice to say, a parent's right to the care, custody, and control of one's child includes a constitutionally protected right to make decisions regarding the child's education, including the choice to homeschool. So he forced her to put the child into Montessori school, which is what I did on my own choice. Okay, and then I decided to homeschool because public school does not work. It was failing my child, and it was not doing well for my child. And my child does excellent in Montessori school, and he does excellent in homeschool, because I'm really good at homeschooling him. You should see my curriculum. It's off the charts. 80 times better than any public school, not to mention the fact that homeschool children are 30% higher academically than public school children, and wanted by the best colleges in the nation. No comparison. Okay. So anyway, long story short, including the choice to homeschool, indeed, in addition to the Supreme Court of the United States landmark decisions in Meyer, Pierce, and Yoder, the fundamental right of a parent to homeschool his or her child is also supported by Washington versus Glucksberg. Listen carefully, my friends, which held that the federal Constitution specially protects those fundamental rights and liberties which are objectively deep-rooted in this nation's history and tradition. Did you know that the first schooling was homeschooling? So anyway, this is what I wanted to say. I don't have much time right now. I have things to do with my son right now. So I will be back though. And ladies, mothers, and children, book a talk with me, because women, we are rising up bigger than we were before, thanks to the new Mother's Rights Champion here, because we're going to go after this garbage once and for all. And I will never see another child or mother and child be separated again from each other, causing lifelong damage. I will never see this again. This will be my fight for the rest of this, whatever it takes, until this is completely down. And I will make sure that no matter what county we're in, no matter which judge keeps getting complaints and complaints and complaints, that we have to start making sure that we hold them accountable for the damages that they're doing to families. And fathers, I'm for you. I'm not saying that I'm not, but I'm done with the abusive fathers. I am done. completely. God bless you, each and every one of you, and have a blessed day. I will leave all the information in description so you guys can get a hold of me and join the different groups that we have. God bless everyone. Thank you.